Peace, light, and love, my YouTube family. How is everybody? I want to do a message today. I want to use Maji Got the T's Oracle deck, the Chosen Ones 144. And see, we'll get a quick message to send us on our day, on our way, night, whatever it might be for us when we come across the video. All right. So let's see what we've got here. All right. Okay. So, back of the deck is empath, and then right off the bat, I'm really thinking about, a message of your empathetic abilities, your abilities to feel what other people are feeling, to kind of feel and think their thoughts, to know their thoughts by being able to feel them. Those abilities are enhancing. This is a time where powers, abilities are expanding. You'll notice this. You're going out in the public and you're kind of feeling people looking at you. You kind of get a little feeling on your cheek, and there's a person over there, looking at you, or from the back. When you know, and I definitely feel that you know what I'm talking about, friend. So that you have been having a heightened sense of empathy, your ability to know and feel other people's thoughts and their feelings and what's going on with their lives. And a very important part about this for all of us is to remember that we have to know what energy is ours and what energy is not. So let's not get bombarded. Let's not feel, the stress of others. Let's not feel the depression of others. Don't let that sadness, cause you to feel like you're actually having those emotions yourself. Know that, we serve a mighty good God. We are extensions of a mighty good God, and that we have a vibration, we have a light to ourselves where we don't have to be bogged down by depression and sadness and stress and anxiety. The anxiety is a big one. Let's remember that we must shake it off when we go into public, or we go into interactions with people, family members, going in people's homes, especially when allowing other people into your home. Be careful who you allow in your home, even on the telephone. If somebody you have that, your intuition, your discernment is telling you that somebody has energy that you don't want on you or in your home, make sure take that phone call outside. Or, maybe go out to your car and crack the window and have that conversation with that person, or something like, of that nature, just to protect your energy. We're getting this time to shine card. And if you follow my channel, my videos, you will, we get this card a lot, and I've said, when I see this card, what I want to say to God is, all right, God, let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it, man. Make it happy, God. Make it good, God. It's time to shine. You're shining whether you realize it or not. Those times when you're feeling stressed out, when you're feeling tired, exhausted, you don't know how you're going to keep going with 3 on the clock. You're shining. When you're fighting these battles out here in these spiritual streets, you are shining. People are watching you. People are watching the example you make. People are seeing that you are a person who does not give up. People see that you have overcome so much. Maybe you were walking one time in your life because you couldn't afford transportation, and now they see you achieve that. Or maybe people have seen that you had a hard time getting a job, and they see that you have been employed now. Or maybe you've been working on losing weight, gaining weight, working on your health. Maybe you had medical issues bringing you down, and people are seeing that you overcome these things. People have seen people bully you. People have watched people gang up against you, and I've seen how you have endured, my friend. No weapon formed against us shall prosper as chosen ones, as God's anointed ones. And of course, that does not only apply to the chosen ones in the world. Those who are, devout followers of God. Those who are believers of God and have faith. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. It is our time to shine. And this can be a message that is hard to believe with 444 on the clock. But let's but don't forget to keep going. Don't forget to keep persevering. Don't forget to keep trying. Cry it out if you gotta cry it out. What I'm saying? Take that time to yourself when you need it, but just remember and have that faith that yes, it is time to shine. So go ahead and put yourself out there. Go ahead and make that art that you know that you're being called to do. We've got your name holds power. Respect your name. Put respect on your name. You know what I'm saying? I always say this as a man whose name is Joshua, and I keep having this so often in my life, so maybe this relates to a lot of people within the collective. I go by Joshua. That is my name. My name is not Josh. And that's for me personally what God has told me. So if whatever, however that relates to you and your life, put respect on your name. Put respect on your name. Understand that. You'll notice a lot of times when people may not want to say your full name, or they might want to chop your name up, and it doesn't settle within you. Say your spirit doesn't like it. It's for a reason. There's power in our name. The vibration in our names is for a reason. So understand that, put respect to your name and don't feel bad about it. People a lot of times will try to psychically attack us, they would try to physically attack us if they could, because of us putting respect on our name and expecting others to put respect on our names as well. What else am I getting from this? Your name holds power. Somebody's having a baby and you have an idea about a name, and you maybe going back and forth. For some reason you're thinking maybe not to choose a name. That's your baby's name, whoever that might apply to. Put respect on your name. It's something about working your name too. Put respect on your name. Trauma. So this trauma message here, what I'm hearing is it is okay to not be okay. We have experienced so many different traumas in our lives, and we, being spiritual beings, having this human experience, things are going to hurt. So when we have experienced these traumas in our lives, it is okay to not be okay. So go and get help. Don't feel ashamed of getting help for that trauma. Go talk to that therapist. If a psychiatrist is something that you feel like, you're interested in or could help you, seek that out. With psychiatry and being prescribed medications for, these mental health challenges that we may experience, a lot of us may be hesitant on that because of, there are side effects to these medications. And a lot of times, these are Western medicine medications. So, we have concerns about how they're going to affect our bodies, our spirits to ingest these medications. But also, don't be ashamed. And for your child, for the person I'm feeling, your child who has these traumas, has these challenges, don't be ashamed in expressing that you need help with taking care of this child's needs and the traumas this child has gone through. And then also, speaking of children from our childhoods, we can't continue to sweep our childhood traumas under the rug. We have to get the support that we need to heal. And I know for many of us chosen ones, our childhoods were plagued by abuse and neglect. So many different forms of trauma we have experienced. And it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to get the help that we need. Okay, so, don't be ashamed to say that you need help and to go out there to make that appointment, to make those calls and try to, get the help you need. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of having to take the medications that, you may be prescribed. Don't be ashamed of it. Know that there's a reason for it. There's purpose in it. And we serve a mighty good God. We are extensions of a mighty, mighty good God. And know that there's reason for it. And, a lot of times we will not understand it in this human experience. How many of us know that, God will put us in places and put us through things, and little to no understanding as to why we have to be going through these things. But God has got a mighty good reason for it, and we got to trust that. That's our message, and peace, light, and love to you. And I pray that you have an amazing experience of life in this day and every day, and that you are blessed into what you deserve, and that you transform into the beautiful being that you know that you are destined to become. And I pray that you are delivered from the hardships that that you experience because of the enemies and trials and tribulations that are after you and after all of us, because of who we are as chosen ones, and know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. You know, God will make our enemies like chaff to the wind. You know, God's rods and his staffs, they comfort us as chosen ones. God said, touch not my anointed. You know, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we chosen ones shall fear no evil. So you shine bright. You take care of yourself. Don't put other people before you. Remember that those days are gone and over. The days of you putting other people before yourself and your needs and your wants and your desires, no more. They're gone. No more of that with 11:11 on the clock. We have to invest in ourselves, and we have to go after our dreams. We have to manifest our dreams and call in what is truly ours, so that we can be who we have come to this planet to be. Peace.